See you, TMG.
As well. Had,
you had to say the.
Do you want to hear one of my craziest takes?
Here we
and
go.
then I'll leave you off with this one.
We'll have a crazy take.
I think Eto'o and Henry are on the same level.
I'm not mad at that.
That means they're both better than R9.
What?
Yeah, you go crazy, he goes crazy, yeah.
Who's better than R9 here?
Henry is better than R9.
Ah, you're a mad person. You're just a mad person. R9 is the best player ever, in my opinion.
Over Messi?
Yeah, nah, it's a bit tight. It's a bit
Over
tight.
Cristiano?
Definitely over Cristiano. Definitely over Cristiano.
Over Messi.
But like him and Messi is tight, man.
No way.
That guy's ridiculous.
Messi was slapping his head, slapping.
The
No
only-
Champions League, slap his head, slap
Over
his head.
Zidane?
I'll take R9 over Zidane.
Insta.
The only thing that Messi is doing that makes you feel, Messi's so good at passing. Like his distribution is just mad. Like he's just got another element to his game that Messi could be an all-time great midfielder, an all-time great left winger, an all-time great striker, an all-time great whereas R9 can only be like a winger or a striker. That's the only
He's
thing.
the all-time greatest cam ever.
Who? Messi.
Messi.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, whereas even Ronaldo, when I see Ronaldo, just the all-time greatest back centre.
That is the best cam in the world, man.
Sorry?
He's the best cam ever.
Messi?
Yeah.
Can't dispute that.
He's got something to say.
You can't.
Pele's his guy.
Yeah, but Pele, nobody even knows what position Pele played, man.
They don't do their research. But so Pele was a 10 before all these other 10s. Would I say Messi's a better 10 than Pele? No, I wouldn't say that.
Oh my God. How many times? I don't even want to get into this.
But yeah, Messi could do all this position, Pele could do that too. But Ronaldo could have been the greatest player of all time. He had all the
R9.
Yeah, had all the attributes. R9.
Availability is an ability.
Injuries and
Stop. I don't want anyone to say unfortunate. Availability is an ability. If you can't be
It's
there,
unfortunate, man.
It's unfortunate.
He actually tore his ACL twice.
The reason I say it's unfortunate, not just that, because he actually came back and proved to the world he was still the best player in the world.
Do you know what I mean?
By 8% of his, or 60% of his ability. No other player's ever
Crazy.
done that. In any other sport, I don't know
Crazy.
if ever was like
because of your knees, dad.
the debilitating injuries and still come back to prove I'm the
But
best.
do you think he was too soon? Oh no.
Well, no, too soon. He's got injured.
No.
Crazy injuries.
Listen. Do you think he's too soon? As in, do you think if he had all the medical abilities?
Oh, maybe to be fair.
And then
maybe would have made better recovery. But he's a Brazilian anyway, so the career
So
would have
wait,
been
what are
short.
you asking?
Because it's like
The medical advancement would
I
have been
listened to
better.
Bill
man.
Simmons.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. Is it too soon, too early, or too like? Was it the perfect time?
They probably could have squeezed another 2-3 years out of him, but the injuries he had was to me, it's guys that to a different mentality, different ability, but other guys since then have had similar injuries like Diaby and Wilshere. Those guys never reached their potential, let alone R9.
Yeah, but so a lot of people tell their ACL like, and you're back.
We've done it like twice, bro. If you look at his knees, you see all
It's
stitches.
mad.
I'm due to
He
post
actually
it.
The
tore
surgery
his-
must have been messed up though. The surgery's different though, because you do a scope down.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I reckon they could have squeezed a couple more years of high
I
level.
did say ACL twice.
It's crazy. But one time was dribbling, his knees are sparkled. It's crazy.
Oh man, he's not built for this.
It's crazy.
Nah, he was so good.
He's not built for this.
But I mean,
Oh, phenomenal.
R9 in his prime.
R9 in his prime is, to me,
Wait, R9 lost to
The second-
Zidane in his prime. The World Cup final, didn't
He
he?
did.
Won no Champions Leagues.
he did.
There's-
Bagging goals against Dutchmen.
There's reasons for his
What did he do at Barcelona?
proficiency. Sorry?
Did he play for Barcelona?
Played for Barcelona for one season. They went to Inter, then Madrid.
Man, been around.
Oh, he was so good, man.
R9.
Hey,
Do you know what R9 is? This is why his case for being that great. He's the most successful international player of all time.
Champions League?
Well, Champions League, no, that's club. That's international.
Oh.
I think he's got 5 trophies, more than anyone else. 2 World Cups. He's got more international trophies than Pele.
Oh, Champions League.
More international trophies than the great Pele, the greatest.
Hey, champs. What did he do in champs?
I mean, the rules were different when he was playing.
What did he do in
He didn't do
champs?
much. The rules were different.
He did nothing.
He didn't win none.
He did a good game.
No,
He's got one trophy.
His goal record and assist record is good. His individual performance is good.
He's got one trophy.
Remember, I sent you that thread. It breaks down why he hasn't got the Champions League's finals.
When I said that about
Who?
when I was talking about only the champions used to go to the Champions League basically.
For who? I know that.
I can't remember.
Who trying to defend?
Defending anyone.
Maybe Maradona or something like that.
Who cares about Maradona?
One of the greatest players ever.
Who cares?
I don't really
Hey,
follow guys
rest
that
in peace,
play
rest in
black
peace.
and white, man.
You need to watch Black and White.
I don't really follow guys that used to.
Maradona
black and
didn't
white.
play in black and white though.
Yeah, but any of these guys, man, any of these.
What? Because he was a HD.
Why do you feel them?
You can't put
Because
Ronaldo then
you
because
can't-
Ronaldo wasn't HD.
Like you can to be.
it was in 320p.
My thing
dad.
is that with guys like with guys like what's his guy's name? Maradona. Yeah. When I'm watching Maradona and I'm watching the players that he played against, I don't know any of them, bro.
All of them are great. He played in.
I don't know any of the.
He went to one in Italy.
like,
Italy.
research.
Italy used to be the Premier League.
You don't really know like when I'm watching Ronaldo or R9 and I see him beating like all of these players.
Who
that
Ronaldo beat?
Well, not in terms of teams, but like 1-on-1.
Maldini,
like all of these guys that he was peppering. Then it's like, okay,
Nesta.
you can add flavour to what he's doing.
Man,
Do you know what I mean? It's not like if
Maradona skilled up Terry Butcher, dog.
I don't know who that is, bro.
One of England's toughest defenders.
Toughest
What
defenders.
is tough mean back then?
Man had a headband
He would
on.
headbutt somebody.
Yeah, that's what John Terry did. John Terry was
Yeah,
tough as
that was
well.
tough, bro.
Don't do
No,
that.
John Terry's tough as well, you know.
You don't know about Terry Butcher?
Don't do
I
that.
did some
He
research.
played with what?
Terry
With
Butcher.
blood gushing down his head.
Yeah.
Good old Terry.
No, Terry,
But Maradona used to skill up Maldini and Costa Curta and Baresi, those guys. Like
Yeah, but
Maradona's winning
it's
leagues when
it's
they
just
were around.
legends. It's just legends.
He was big. Hey,
Them man are just legends to me.
But
Yeah,
they're some of the
and he
greatest
was
players ever.
Huh?
Some of the greatest players ever.
Messi.
I don't know that though. I don't know that.
Go look it up.
I don't know that.
Go
I
look
mean,
it up.
so then biology, then Messi should be the best because you know everyone that he's schooled up.
Messi, I can comfortably say Messi's the best player that I've ever seen in it.
Yeah.
I can comfortably say that.
Everyone can say that.
But I can't comfortably say like Pele's the best player I've ever seen or Maradona's the best player that I've ever seen comfortably because I haven't watched like how many full games have I watched of Pele and Maradona? None.
Football ballet's there.
How many full games of Pele have you watched?
I've watched. Like I said, I've watched.
How many full games?
At least 10. There's more.
That's
to watch.
not enough, bro.
It's more. It's
That's
enough.
not
Man
enough.
watched 10 games.
That is
It's
not
his
enough.
10's greatest games.
That's not even a season in the Prem.
At least.
That's
that
a
is
bit
not
mad.
enough.
That's a bit mad.
That is not enough.
That's a bit mad.
No,
You know what? Let me
10 games is a
Melo,
bit mad.
Melo,
I've
I
watched,
can't lie.
I've watched at least 10. Mountains of research. There's a lot.
Oh,
of,
your football Twitter done. Oh,
Thank
no.
you. That's not enough.
Not football. There's mountains of research. Mountains of journals to read. Documentaries.
I don't understand.
You can
Well,
watch-
Is
well,
football played
but
in?
then-
Is football
I'm
written or
going to
played?
say this.
You can actually.
I can say this.
Okay, no, let me land this. If that's the what's I always go back to recently. I wish I'd done this when I was younger. If that's the tip you guys want to come, which is fine. Like I said, okay, cool.
When Messi gets his
No,
books out.
listen, cool. Anything before your birth, you can't talk about because you don't know. You
Oh,
weren't
he
there.
loves this point.
You weren't there.
He
You weren't there.
loves this
So
point.
no, listen. You can't talk about Martin Luther King. You can't talk about Malcolm X. I don't care. You can't talk about Hitler. I don't care.
Who's Hitler?
Winston Churchill. You can't talk about these guys. I don't care how many books you read. I don't care what history teacher tells you. You weren't there. You weren't reading the political channels at the
No,
time.
man,
You weren't-
that's
you weren't-
ridiculous. That's a
you weren't-
ridiculous
No,
comparison.
you weren't reading the bulletins. You
That's
weren't
a
there.
ridiculous comparison.
Who knows? Who
Nah,
knows? Who
that's
knows?
a ridiculous
Who knows? All
comparison.
this could have been tampered. You don't know. You weren't there.
It is tampered.
You weren't
Wait,
there.
history's written by the victor.
Right, there you go. So you weren't there. You don't know.
That is
Well, you don't know.
That is the most ridiculous
Well, you
thing
don't know.
I've ever
You're telling me I've only watched 10 games. You don't know.
How can you have only watched
10
10
games
games?
is a bit mad.
And
You
you're
don't
telling me
watch
that this
10
guy is the best player you've
Four
ever
games.
seen.
You don't know.
10, yeah? I've watched. Oh my
So how
god.
do you know? How do you know the 10 games weren't doctored? How do you know that they were really happening? How do you know they just made it?
Nah, 10 games.
How do you know it was
10
games?
games, Melo.
You're saying the tape is tampered.
Yeah. How do you know? How do you know? You weren't there when they
Nah,
filmed
this-
it.
That's what I said. Yeah, if that's what you guys are coming.
I'm just saying this now. I factually know that I've seen Messi play. They came back and they told me the score. You factually don't know. Their games could have been actors.
Boy, people don't even know how many goals this guy scored.
Who knows?
People say the number of goals he scored is changing
Who
every
knows?
time.
Hey, to be fair,
Every
I don't know
time
where
it's
Pele
changing.
is.
It's a lie. Everything's a
Wait,
lie.
wait,
Winston Churchill,
where's
they
he
were a
going?
lie.
They play for Santos. What's the stadium? Where is Santos based?
It's based in Sao Paulo.
This is, I bet he goes to the stadium at night. He just puts the ball in the net.
That's all. You know, long tells to make it sound more
Brings his
interesting.
son. Quick assist.
But-
Assist.
I mean, that's what
Sits up
I
and goes up
said.
at night. We just say, "Oh, official game."
Like I said, if the footage wasn't there, then I wouldn't say it because there's one CDM when you grant CDM for his name. Some people say he's the best midfielder or best player of all time. I have no footage of him. You can't watch game. Football Balia, there's many games to watch. That 10 could easily go to 50.
What's
Like,
the
yeah,
year?
well,
Watch
listen,
50 then.
it could easily go to 50. I put the time into watch. But what I would say, the more times I watch Pele, the more things I come up into understanding of him, the more new things I come across. It just sounds worse or looks worse for the rest of his
Can I just say something though? You scrutinize guys that you watch now differently than you would a Pele.
Thank you.
Because you're looking at rose tinted glasses. You're finding reasons to like Pele. When you watch guys now, you're analysing them strictly because you're seeing them day in, day out. You see they're off the ball, you see everything. It's hard.
Someone tell me if Pele was pressing, man.
He was. Go watch the tapes.
pressing.
Go watch the tapes.
What, the 10 games?
But yeah, go watch the tapes. It's footage there. Pressing.
Hey.
What games did you even watch? Brazil?
I've watched most of the Brazil ones,
See?
but I've watched also Santos ones as well.
International.
I've also watched
when he had like the best team in the world.
Just like Messi had the best team for Barcelona.
When?
Huh?
Most of his career, Barcelona were the best team in the world. When they're not.
Why? And then what happened
For most of his career, not all his career. Just like Ronaldo, for most of his career, Real Madrid one of the best teams in the world. Wow. I'm not saying, I never said Pele didn't play great players. They won fucking 62 World Cup without him, bro. Pretty much. They did. Just like.
No, but what I'm saying is you can't watch the games that you played with Brazil and then say. Oh,
it's not just the Brazil. I watched the Santos games as well.
If I watch R9, this is crazy. The more I'm thinking about it, the crazy is. If I watch 10 games of R9, I could comfortably say this guy's the best in the world.
To be fair, 10 games is not enough sample size.
It's so small.
10, there's 10 full games. There's also other games, extended highlight clips, highlights. There's enough. Seen enough footage. Let me lie. I've seen enough footage for me to comfortably say that he is the greatest player of all time.
That's like me saying, you can give a collage of the 10 greatest Bruno Fernandes games.
Bruno
was the best.
No, but you're missing the point. I've seen him.
And if they start putting the stats together, and say, he came to Man United, they were terrible. And then he took them to fourth.
I've seen his lowlights as well. I can list you his weak points in his career. That was, like I said, in '62 he was injured. They won it without him. I said even in the documentary, they wanted to get rid of him before the 70 World Cup, which has been a mistake. Those sort of things. Santos,
what's the number 9? What's the number 9 that was bagging goals? Is it Garinch? No, it's not Garinch.
Which is a winger. Also as well, flipping. What's it called? He only won 6 league titles, like as you say. And 6 not enough.
6?
How can he only win 6? Is the best player in the world in the time that he was playing?
Oh, but then he's gonna say this. The Brazilian league was different back then. Think about it now. If all the Brazilian players stayed in the league now, think about how great the league would be.
The thing is, you guys would laugh, but I'm saying stuff from a factual standpoint of actual knowledge. If I told guys, if you do the research for unbiased lens, you'll see the stuff I'm saying.
But you're biased.
I'm not biased. I told you, guys, if a guy achieves that much,
what did he achieve?
He's achieved everything that he's achieved in his time.
2 World Cups.
He's won 2 World Cups playing in the
6 league
team.
titles.
He's got 3 World Cups on his resume. He's got 6 league titles. In a very strong league and continent at the same time. No, people can turn up their face, like I told you before. Even today, the Brazilian team's not as strong as it used to be, right?
I mean,
listen. If all those players stayed in Brazil and played in Brazil, that Brazilian league would be one of the best it's going. All the Brazilian players, the Firminos, even though he's not that great right now, Gabriel Jesus, Neymar.
I don't think it'll be that great.
It will be great, fam. If all of them stayed, it would be one of the best leagues, bro. And not just the Brazilians. If all the South Americans stayed, pretty much in their home continents, which is what they pretty much.
How many South Americans are top 10 players right now?
Listen, if all of them pretty much stayed in their continents, it will be very comparable.
How many South Americans?
Are you going to cut me off? Let me finish speaking.
You
could ask the question after. Let me finish speaking. As a polite kid, you were late.
It's your turn.
It's my turn. But flipping, if all of them stayed, so your Messis, your Agueros, your Suarez, your Cavani's, your Mascherano's, your Di Michelis, even though I don't fancy that much, your Edersons, if they all stayed in the home continents and all the Europeans stayed in Europe, you see the Club World Cup, it'll be similar to what it was back then. It'll be pretty much even. Because back then, pretty much during Pele's time, South American teams.
How many Club World Cups did Pele win?
He won 2. I told you, he won it all. He's won literally everything you would want him to win. He's won. And he's scored in finals. He's clutch.
So is Drogba.
But Drogba wasn't as important as good. As Pele, he wasn't as good as.
He was important.
He wasn't as important and as good as Pele.
He stopped the war.
Pele stopped the ceasefire in Nigeria, your own country.
Yeah.
But you don't know that.
Pele, what is it?
You don't know that.
Because you sorry, in Nigeria. They're like, oh, Pele.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
What did he do? Pele went and opened his big head and said that, our team for Africa is going to win this World Cup before 2 months.
He believed in you guys before you believed in yourself. I want to down speak this man.
It's interesting, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, the only hole really in his career, if you actually do research and look objectively.
Yeah, but we were speaking about the eye test.
Eye test is what? Watch these tapes.
Hang on. We were speaking about the eye test.
Yeah.
And we were speaking in depth about how it's so easy to go on Football Ref and look at these numbers that people are putting up and say, okay, this guy's doing this. It's easy to form narratives about how important a player is, how disimportant a player is. Like everything can be proven or disproven through narratives.
Yeah.
My thing with your infatuation for Pele is you've only actually watched 10 full games. That's the biggest slight. Because up till now, I thought, okay, maybe this guy's actually watched like his whole career.
Can't watch this.
But you can't watch. You can't tell me you watched 10 games, and that's enough for like an eye test. Because we're not only when I'm personally comparing players, I'm not saying that okay, this guy's won a World Cup, this guy hasn't won a World Cup. this guy's won Euros. This guy. I'm saying, okay, when the World Cup comes, what will your performances say in those World Cups?
Yeah,
that's what I'm.
I can say that about all players World Cups.
When your team won the league, what your performances like for your team winning the league?
Yeah,
I don't know that about Pele, and you can't tell me that factually about Pele.
All these World Cups
through your own lens.
All these World Cups, I can detail you his actual importance and impact to the team. I told you in '62 he was injured. He won. He played the first game. I think he scored 1 goal. Might have 1 assist. That was Grinch's tournament. Grinch would have won the Ballon d'Or that year. Fair enough, they won it without him. Just like they won 2006 without Messi. In '58, he was injured for I think the first 2 league games. He basically came on the last league group stage and played the rest of the knockout games. The clutch games that mattered, he turned up. Against a team in France that were knocking past everyone had just Fontaine, that scored like 13 goals that tournament. Pele's team beat them. I believe he scored a hat-trick or 2 games. In the final, he scored 2 goals. Against Wales, he either got the assist or the goal for that game in a 1-0 victory. I believe that was knockout stage. So Pele, and he was 17 years old, bro. Name me another player that's ever done that before. Mbappe was 19, bro. And even Mbappe's impact wasn't as clear as Pele's was.
He'd be Argentina.
Mbappe's the closest thing on record for a player that young to have a significant impact on a World Cup winning team or a team that's won a major trophy. 62 injured, fair enough. 66 he got kicked out of the tournament. I told you he couldn't handle the physicality of the league.
It, man.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It's fine.
He couldn't handle it.
He can't handle the physicality of the league.
Listen to me. Eusebio.
Eusebio outplayed him. He couldn't handle the physicality of the league.
This doesn't sound like the best player in the world to me.
He got kicked out of the tournament. He could handle it. 70. Best player in the tournament.
He didn't score in every round like a certain.
That's why people have a misconception. They think Pele's just a goal scorer. If you look at his records and actually watch him play. That's what the Jorginho did. As I tell you, when people say Messi's the greatest number 10, I tell you it's not necessarily true because Pele done the same thing way before him. Even look at the.
So you're telling me like technically?
No, technically speaking.
Like
technically speaking, I'll give Messi the edge. However, I would say this: Pele was a 2-foot player. It depends how you read technique. If 2-footedness is a big thing for you, as long as the other stuff,
fair.
Pele probably would have the edge. Not like Ronaldo, because Ronaldo's not on the overall level, not on the technical level as Messi, even though he's 2-footed. But I said the passing range, the touches, all the skills you see now, the Cruyff turns, the what's it called, the Elasticos. Pele was doing that before him.
How can he call? It's not the Pele turn.
No, it's called a Cruyff turn. Pele was doing before him.
Are you sure?
Pele was doing that before him. All these tricks and flicks, Pele was doing this all before a lot of these guys. But I told you, a lot of guys don't know this because they don't do the research.
So you're telling it's the Pele turn?
No, it's not called a Pele. It's called a Cruyff turn. Cruyff. Is that when James Harden said, when Paul Pierce said that popularized a step back?
That's a lie. He was capping off.
Larry Bird done step backs before James Harden and Paul Pierce, but they don't really attribute it to him. But he done it before all those guys. Just like Pele done it before all these guys, but they don't attribute it to him because my main thing is Pele played in Europe would have been a different story.
Do you know if you believe so much in this Pele guy?
It's not what I believe. I just know. I know.
Who made the step over? Was it Pele?
I don't know who made the step over.
But he did it before everyone.
Pele was more like Messi, more of a fake. He done reverse step. He didn't really do the normal step. It was like that.
Well, Pele needs a move, man. Then can make him survive forever.
It's a master of all trades, you know.
Pele over.
You actually can't compare the two.
I mean, for what I know and what I've seen, for me, he's the greatest. If Messi wins the World Cup,
so you think and even I don't want to get you started on this, man. It's time to go.
Don't get started.
But like, you think if Pele played in today's game,
yeah,
that Pele that you watch in those clips playing in today's game, you'd be able to play.
You get slapped in the head.
So what are we saying? It's just dropping Pele from that era.
Drop Pele from that era
into this era.
At his age, in the prime of his physique, whatever.
Kicked out of the 60s,
and put him.
They don't kick guys like that anymore.
They kick Hazard.
The kicking they give Hazard is nowhere near the kicking they gave Maradona and Pele. They actually they didn't really have cards back then, so you could kick a guy like 10 times.
Slab of cheese.
Huh?
Slab of cheese.
From what I would say, out of all the forwards, Pele is the most complete forward attacker I've ever seen.
No, I'm saying if you took him there and you put him in our time now, how would he perform?
I think he would still perform just as great.
You think he'd still be the best player in the world?
I think he'll be the best player in the world for the reasons I mentioned. He's the most complete forward there's ever been.
So you actually think like from a technique perspective?
I told you, doing all the things that guys were doing before.
No, but I'm saying like right now in today's game with today's defenders.
Well, how long are you going to that? Because obviously he was playing with a pigskin ball, and he could do that with that sort of ball, heading those sort of balls. If you give him time to adapt to the modern technology, play with nice grass instead of flipping farm fields. Guys can't hack you anymore, so guys are actually afraid to tackle you. You know what I mean? Those sort of things. If you give them time to adapt to the current rules, which great players like Ferguson said, great players, they adapt to any era. They can play in any era. And the greatest in Pele would adapt to this era. My thing is, if you drop Pele as a 14, 15-year-old, you gave him the technology to actually grow up in this era, that's a more fair comparison to me. Just like if you put Messi in that era, like I said, I could turn around and say, if you put Messi in that era, it's going to get...
Wait.
Listen. If I could turn around and say, you put Messi in that era, and Ronaldo, they're gonna get kicked out off the field and they won't fancy it. But I wouldn't say that because they will adapt because they're just that great. But I could just turn around and say they're gonna get kicked out and they won't be able to play because there's no cards. And as you know, you're a defender yourself. It's easy to actually kick a person that actually successfully, cleanly take the ball off them. So
You have to get close to Messi to take it.
just kick him. You can stick your foot out like how long? Just kick him, G. You don't have to get close.
So many a man try and kick Messi.
That's not. They didn't do it as aggressive as they did back then because they know they get cards.
Say the killers Pele's playing against killers.
I told you, go watch the tapes of 66 when he's getting kicked to the shit by a Portuguese. Go watch 82 tapes of Maradona getting kicked. They don't kick Messi.
The only team I've seen kick is Cameroon in 1990.
The only thing that's somewhat comparable, Ramos and Pepe. Imagine pretty much all the defenders on that sort of time. That's the only thing that's somewhat comparable.
Guess what happened to Ramos?
That's probably hopefully.
What happened to them?
No, but imagine those guys. They got burned. But imagine those guys didn't have to worry about getting sent off. Which didn't really bother them to begin with, but yeah. Imagine they didn't have to worry about that.
Man, we're holding red cards. You don't make Ramos score red cards.
But imagine they have to worry about that. It would be a totally different ball game.
They try to kick him.
I'd say poor guys just to do the research and watch this footage, but guys don't do it.
10 games.
So even if I was telling porkies and lies, no one could actually disprove me because guys could actually do the research.
Tell me, Wilt Chamberlain is the best basketball player of all time.
Huh?
Tell me
I tell you this. I said before, if Wilt Chamberlain won like Bill Russell, it will be very hard for you guys to tell him he's not the best player of all time.
Of course.
For anything. And the only reason that you can say Bill Russell's not, because Bill Russell didn't have the offensive game. If Wilt Chamberlain won like Bill Russell, oh my days, it's almost unscalable. Like the stats are unreachable. You've won everything. You're so dominant, and essentially that's what Pele was. But I'll leave that for a different day.
Okay. Anyway, welcome to the 2-man game.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Thank you, BJ, for opening this Pandora's box.
I regret it now.
Yeah, I know, man. When you said that Eto'o comment, I thought you were doing something.
Agenda flying. Child agenda. The chairman.
Yeah, man. Eto'o's better than Henri, man.
I think it's the same level, so you've even gone up one.
I've been inspired. I've been inspired by your craziness.
Right, this is it's knowledge from
I'm up for that. Debate. Eto'o's a wonderful player. Obviously, Real Madrid didn't work out for him.
He was young then, man.
No everyone succeeds first time.
Barcelona.
My guy.
And then obviously Pep came.
My guy has no real failures of teams like Maradona, but that's
he didn't even move. He just stayed at Santos.
Yeah, he didn't need to.
And then the league he went to just folded when he
didn't need to.
Your league folded for the best player?
Yeah, best player. Pele went there and the league folded.
How can the league fold?
I think it was time before it folded, but anyways. But Philippine, make sure you like and subscribe for us on all socials. Instagram, the Twitter. Make sure you listen to us audibly, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. But subscribe. It's only free. It helps us a long way.
£0.
If you want us to see more content, more crazy guests, more crazy guys, crazy conversations.
More Pele talk. Pele's paying him.
Hey, as you guys know, I'm a guy that's for the truth. I don't mind who's the beneficiary of the truth. I just go for the truth.
This is this.
But we out, baby.